Hi, this is Vincent.
And this is Lidara.
And you are listening to the Strings of Fate podcast.
Yes, that thing.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you. I
just don't think about it too hard. It's just you and me.
Yeah,
and
just you and me.
All of the people listening.
Oh, all of the people?
Yeah.
How many people?
Don't think about it too hard. It's fine. You're doing great. Anyway, should we jump in?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the episode.
Running through the Church of the Morninglord, your footsteps echo into this hollow space, desperately running with reckless abandon. And for a moment, you are not tearing out of marble halls. You are weaving through the crowd on a busy side street, an open market. Your footsteps are not boots on marble, they are bare feet on rough cobblestone. You're in an Unsyrian city not too unlike Wheldon. This bustling marketplace at the center. A dense forest of people. And warm bread, your prize clutched tightly to your chest. Heated shouts from behind you. "Stop her, you little rat!"
You can't catch me here.
You have to make it back to her. What do?
I'm gonna duck into an alley.
The small form of a wood elf quickly maneuvers through the crowd in the way that most can't. And before they can even figure out her path, she's already turned the corner, past the stalls, into an alley. There's a moment as you keep running, not looking back, and you can hear heavy footsteps rush past the alleyway as you weave through the twisted side streets. Eventually making your way back, looking over your shoulder at every point to see if there's someone watching, someone following, someone who recognizes, but nobody gives you the time of day. Their eyes simply look on and away from your plight. Eventually, you find your way to a hidden away nook in these winding alleys. You make your way past trash cans overflowing and abandoned furniture that's been forgotten, abandoned, no longer of use. And as you approach, you see a small pair of eyes peeking out from underneath some rubble fashioned into a makeshift tent. And they brighten as they see you return. A girl scrambles from underneath. What does she look like?
There is a small girl with pitch black dark hair, pretty long, and the brightest blue crystal eyes with pale, very pale white skin.
She runs up, greets you as she usually does, with a hug first, and then an excited sort of smile, though the face is gaunt and the shiver of the cold of winter is beginning to set in. She's still warm towards you. She just smiles and looks towards your quarry. A warm loaf of bread, freshly picked from a bakery, still crackling.
I got it.
You did?
Of course.
You are amazing. You're the best.
Stop. You're way too kind.
She smiles, she looks. It's a welcome sight, this piece of bread, after dealing with the stale, forgotten leftovers you've scavenged.
Now eat up.
As she looks, she says, "Shouldn't you go first?"
No, I'm fine. I'll be fine.
All right. She tears off a piece, and you take a moment to let her enjoy it. just the flush across her face at the first bite. In your head, you know, there's one other thing that you need for her to take when she's finished that you've already procured, but for now you'll let her enjoy this. And she does. And you both do. A warm meal in the early onset of winter, and as you save what is left, there's a pause, and the smile kind of fades from her face as she looks over at you. You also got the...
Yes, I got it. I know you don't want to take it, Elle, but you have to. You know you do.
I don't... But what... I don't...
Mother
know...
told us that you have to take it. And I don't want anything to happen to you.
She's silent. She's made this protest 100 times at this point. It always ends the same. In your pouch, where your notebook, secondhand, lies, next to it your second, less exciting quarry. A small flower of beautiful quality, almost like a snowdrop, but a very burnt scent, like burnt lavender, like coal in beauty. And as you pull it, you wrench the petals from the stem, crush it into what you can, and hand it to the girl.
It'll be okay. It's just like last time.
She stares at it with both hands, pushes the foul concoction into her mouth, and you see her face contort in disgust at the bitterness, and you feel, just from looking at her, her body tensing. And you've been very afraid to ask, but you're sure it hurts.
I'll just hold her.
You feel her grab your hand tightly. And that smell of burnt lavender, that smell of coal, it never leaves your mind. And in those moments, on the steps of the Church of the Morninglord, as you look wildly around, seeing crowds beginning to make their way out of buildings, seeing guards, hearing their whistles from off in the distance, you are completely bewildered and lost before you feel arms wrap around you and you're propelled, shot up to the roof, where Azzurum and Archie are waiting. So, just to talk about where you all are, Vincent and Renaire, you have bumped into the alleyway via dimension door, where the body was. It was moved by Renaire earlier, but that's where you attacked Sir Sabin. Azzurum, Archie, and Lidara are on the roof. Bonnie has already been able to escape. You haven't seen her. Lidara, you couldn't really make out a ton, but you didn't see Bonnie out there, so you're just kind of hoping that she made it. But I'm going to flip a coin to see who we start with, and then I will explain. Basically, what's going to happen with this chase is I'm going to throw some obstacles, which I'm going to roll for on a table, and I'm going to ask for a certain check, or you can bypass the check if you want to do something creative, use a spell, or use one of your abilities to get past it. You won't have to do the check, or you could just make the check, and if you fail, a certain number of times, you're going to be thrown back into combat as the knights are going to be able to catch up to you. Or some other amalgamation, whether that be guards or people trying to stop you, that sort of thing. Heads or tails, Vincent?
Heads.
Okay. Tails. We're starting with the rooftop. Okay, Lidara, you are pulled up by the astral chain from Azzurum. You both land up on the top of the roof, breathing heavily. Lidara, you're shaken out of your state by this.
Christ, Lidara, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay.
Where are we? We're at the church. What do you mean?
I mean, I was just on the ground and now I'm up here.
Yep, we're running.
Okay.
Wait, what are we doing? You say as Archie stands to his feet, now unmanacled. Says, "Is this the escape? What's the plan from here?"
And
Can you fight?
Barely.
Okay,
barely.
then we're running.
Okay. You can see Archie's like shaking right now. He's not really built like an adventurer, but as you say we're running, you can hear from below shouts. You hear the knights shout, I saw her. She went up to the roof.
Oh.
So you go around the outside, we'll go from the inside. And you can see that there are entrances on this roof, like a sort of door, like roof access that go down into the church, as well as what look to be ladders around the side. However, there are also rooftops that you can jump to.
Oh, perfect.
They're a bit of a distance. I will say that it will be quite the jump to do it. Not impossible, and also not impossible, but dangerous, because it is jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Some of them are worse than others.
Could I use my rope of climbing and put it in the middle of like the gap between the roofs and the roofs?
That's correct, I think.
Okay. And put it between the gap between the two roofs and then kind of like, swing Indiana Jones style?
Very creative. I'll let you do that and give you advantage on that. If you want everyone to do that, you certainly can try to do that.
Okay.
The rope of climbing is used for that. So you make your way over to the edge of the roof of the Church of the Morninglord. Send the rope of climbing out. You see that sort of magical end of the rope affixed to a spot in space as you hold on to the other end. It's a pretty large gap between the church and the next building, which is still smaller, so it's not extremely difficult. I need everyone. Are you doing anything, Azzurum? Different with Archie?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then you're swinging. I'll need everyone to make just a straight up acrobatics or athletics check.
Definitely acrobatics.
Yeah, so this makes it not a dex check.
Natural 20. Hey.
Natural
Plus 8.
20. Plus 8. Fantastic. I'll have to make one for Archie.
Good advantage. Doesn't she get advantage?
I will say, yeah, you can give advantage for using
saw
this.
the look.
This will be the one time it'll apply, I will say. I think there's actually an escape
13
song that I can use. 13. I will say this, that Archie is the deciding factor here. And Archie, cool. And whether you succeed or fail, if everyone fails, something really bad happens. If like only 2 of you fail, then you just accumulate a failure on this.
I passed, so I'm on Archie.
Archie has not a high one, but is able to muster his strength and courage as he looks down this 3-story building. He sees the ground. He says, "Oh God, what have I gotten myself into?"
Just do it.
Okay, but then he jumps off with the rope of climbing, swings across, lets go. Doesn't land the most elegantly, but lands on the other side as he kind of rolls. And he's, "I did it."
After I land, I don't even stop running. I just grab him by the shirt and let's keep going.
We've got to go.
You pull him, you keep running as you're making your way across rooftops. Here, as you've made that first gap, the rooftop distance is a lot less
crazy.
It's a lot less dangerous to jump from rooftop to rooftop. This one is just straight up athletics check.
Okay.
This is
great.
straight up an athletics check.
Great.
to get away. You've accumulated success. Pretty good.
13.
Oh.
13.
Oh.
What'd you get?
I got 2. I have -1 on athletics.
You are moving.
Can I just stop myself before I die?
You are moving from building to building to building, and Archie was the deciding factor here. And as you are jumping across, making your way, you get to a point where you are just a little bit too off the mark. Lidara and Archie both make a jump. Lidara, you realize you're not going to make it. You grab on, you hold the side. Archie absolutely isn't going to make this next jump and leaps, and you can see that
Can I grab
falling.
his hand?
Make a dexterity check.
Can I cast levitate?
A dexterity saving throw. Or you could cast levitate if you'd like.
Can I cast levitate on both of them?
Well, I
like, are
gotta-
they both
It's
gonna
a
fall?
single target, I think.
I also got a
It's just
15
one
plus
person.
8 to grab him still.
It's up to you on who you want to do it. If she grabs him, you could cast levitate on one of them.
Okay, then I'll cast levitate on Lidara.
Fantastic. As Archie's falling, no, and all of a sudden his arm is grabbed by Lidara, and Lidara, as you grab his arm and you feel the weight of being pulled down, you all of a sudden feel weightless
Whoa,
as you are
whoa,
being
whoa.
pulled up.
What?
As Azzurum, as you feel wind propelling you upward, and it lifts you up, and then
That doesn't. Well, that wasn't right.
Okay,
That,
well, you complain about it later. Running now.
that was you.
Yes.
Okay, good.
okay.
Okay, we're running.
Creative solution.
Great
I will
minds.
give that another success. Very cool. You make your way over to a point. Azzurum, you know the plan that you are meeting somewhere more towards the Thorn Manor, not directly over there, but that towards the alleyway that you met with Valentina originally. She says that there will be a cart waiting for you, and you know you're getting close to that area, but you can hear in the streets below whistles from guards that don't fully know what's going on. You can hear crowds. It seems that the albatross, the giant albatross bursting out of the church, has drawn a lot of attention to the center of town. Make a perception check. This is not part of the skill challenge.
Perception.
Yep.
16.
20.
20. You can see that despite being able to run, get away for the most part, there are still people that seem to know who they're looking for. You can see that there are some knights that have been able to keep an eye on where you all have gone.
Can I disguise myself as a guard, without them seeing on the rooftop? And
Absolutely.
then go to the edge of one of the roofs where I see the guards on the ground and try to convince them that we went a different way.
What are you saying?
I'm gonna go up and be like, "Oi! I saw him go that way!" And then point in the complete opposite direction.
Make a deception check. If you're you have an actor feat, so it's advantage. Go for it.
Nice.
Deception. 17.
The paladin that's leading the people there looks towards you, looks towards them, and they sort of give a affirmatory nod and then dash the direction that you told them. You've mitigated a lot of the risk of being followed by that group of people. You reach a point as you are hopping across rooftops. You can hear Archie, fuck, I can't run like this. And reach a point where you need to make your way down to the street. You can do so through a building, or you can go down the side of it if you want to try and find some place to jump down. It's up to you.
Can I make a perception check to where I need to jump down? Is there anyone down there?
Make a perception check. I'll roll something on this side too. Actually, I'll flip a coin.
14.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Where you need to jump down to basically is where the road begins towards that alleyway. If you picked heads, which means I was rolling to see if there would be something that there would be, or flipping a coin to see if there would be something good. There you see that currently there is a wagon of abundant flowers that is currently being pulled along, but it is very much about to cross that path. So it's either now or never if you're going to jump.
Yeah, let's jump.
Okay, we're jumping.
Okay, make an acrobatics check, everybody, including Archie.
Natural 20 plus 8.
Ooh.
That's cocked. There's a natural 1.
Thank God.
Not much better. What'd you get?
10.
This is most likely your first natural 20.
Plus eight, plus
Let's do a roll off. We'll have Lidara be the roll off. I will roll against you, just straight d20.
Do it.
Roll a d20. Tell me what you get.
10.
17.
Ooh.
You all leap, jump. I'm gonna roll again for Archie to see if he can mitigate something. Okay. Oh, it's not that high. You leap, jump off the roof, aiming for the flower cart. You land into the flower cart. Archie follows, hits real hard.
Oh my God.
And as you're like, all right, we gotta go, as you can hear whistles from around you, as it was supposed to be more of a stealthy dismount and has now looked and been like, they're that way. And then the guard jumps off that building a little bit. You've been noticed. And as you pull at Archie to get up, he is completely unconscious and making death saves.
No!
As he took fully his health and damage. As he hit. I rolled damage and it was the maximum amount of damage I could have done.
Can I give him a health potion?
You pop a health potion. Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2. Very nice.
Just a guy.
He's just a dude. As Archie completely has hit like the bottom, you like got most of the cushy flowers, and he just hit straight wood and like maybe a couple stems. Just
Damn.
and knocked himself unconscious. There wasn't even a scream. It was just like.
You said 2d4 plus 2?
2d4 plus 2.
5.
5 points of healing to Archie. Archie.
Get up, come on. Let's go.
Okay. You tear out of the flower cart. You are making your way. Let me actually add. You are very close to being able to get to where you're supposed to go, that wagon. The problem is that there are a few guards that are coming to question you. You can see them turn and be like, oh, stop right there, as they're running towards you, as they saw you all jump. What's your move to lose them? This is if you succeed on this, you will make it through this chase.
Do I still look like the guard?
You still look like a guard, yeah.
Hey, don't worry, I got these ones. The other blue one went that way.
Make a deception check. This one's straight roll. Straight roll, because they saw you jump there.
Please, dear God.
Please.
Straight roll. I'll roll.
Please.
My insight.
Can I do anything to help? I don't even know.
It depends. It depends on what you want to do. What are you doing to help
I'll
this
like
act?
shove my hands in.
Punch me or something.
Oh yeah. I'll deck Azzurum in the face.
You can
Be
either
like,
make
get off of me!
you can either make a deception or performance check to make it seem real, or you can literally just swing on Azzurum.
Well, you could.
And then we'll see.
I'm out there.
I'll just be like, not today, and then I'm gonna punch him in the face. And
Make a
I'll
real attack?
Yeah.
Make a dexterity check. Sure. Or you can make an attack with your daggers if you want, and then like not actually use the daggers, but just like
I'm
use
like,
the bonus.
Stabby.
Not today. Shanks Azzurum in the stomach. He's all for the act. He's improv. The most intense.
God, that was a 1 cocked, so
One cocked.
got a 19 plus what?
Go ahead and make a just roll a d4 for me. We'll do this.
Okay.
Past a certain, you want a high roll on this.
Hello.
Yeah, you want to knock Azzurum out.
You want to do some damage here. Yeah, Azzurum's still pretty low from the fight.
2.
2? Okay. Lidara reels around and clocks you in the face as hard as she can.
I go, oi, and I grab her by the hair.
You grab her by the hair as you are pulled up. You pull Archie. The guards look.
I'm like, I got this one.
You need manacles.
No,
Get it.
go.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh shit.
Come on.
With advantage.
With straight roll.
You're like with advantage though?
Straight roll. Not with disadvantage, basically.
15.
15. You can see that let me actually roll. There's 3 guards there. You see that 2 of them sort of just, and they peel off, turn, and run down the direction, whereas one of them sort of looks on and then slowly begins to reach for his whistle, and then with one hand for his whistle and the other hand with his sword.
And I cast command.
What's your spell save? 17? 18?
18.
Oh my god.
They're not very wise. 17? What's your command?
I said go.
His eyes kind of glaze over for a second, and then he turns and just starts bolting after them. You have a limited amount of time before the spell wears off. What are you three doing as Archie is kind of like holding his head there? Oh, fucking hell.
Are we where we need to be?
You are like right down the road from it. Like literally that person, basically command is like 6 second like duration. What's the duration on command? It's a round, right?
1 round, yeah.
So he's going to be running down there for 6 seconds. You have 1 round to use your full movement to get around the corner to where you hope that wagon is. So it's up to you on what you want to do. If there's anything else, or you're just booking it.
I think we should book it, but keep up the act.
Okay.
Because then if he turns around, then it doesn't look as suspicious. But we're like, you know.
He'll just know. I think he knows
He will know that you cast a spell on him at the end of it. But he is just incapable of disobeying the command up until 6 seconds have ended. But you are very close to the end of the street where you hope that wagon is when you turn the corner.
Cool.
Go ahead and make athletics checks. This is the final check to see if you can get around.
athletics.
Athletics.
9.
9.
11.
11. Archie was the deciding factor here.
Of course he was.
Of course he was. Why
Roll
would?
a 16.
Okay.
As you are bolting down, Archie sort of kind of wobbling but still pushing forward. You turn the corner just as you hear the whistle, the shrill whistle lean out, and as you turn the corner you can see a large wooden green wagon with golden lettering on the side. That is the Thorn Vineyards, basically. You are able to rush up to there and jump into the back as you hear guards rushing down the road. At the front, you can see that sitting there, like a wide-brimmed sun hat tipped down over his eyes, you see a figure who it was only a few days, but you saw this figure speaking with Valentina. He looks back and he says, "Oh, you all right then? I suppose you're my passengers."
Yes, we should probably get out of here.
Right, we waiting for anyone else?
Technically.
Yes.
And we'll cut over
Technically.
Vincent and Renair.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Vincent, you're disguised as Sir Saban, which means that they haven't seen your true form yet. They haven't seen Vincent. But they have seen... I'll say this. Renair wasn't completely like, did not realize what this was, to the point that he wouldn't wear something to cover his face. So he had a bandana on during the fight. But it's also hard to hide the hair and the clothes, which are now very much stained with blood. In fact, Renair is doing really poorly right now and is like kind of, the wounds are closed, but you can see that he's kind of weak because he's, okay,
You're right.
what's the plan? I'm fine.
You're hurt.
No, I know, but we can't do anything about it now. And you can hear people rushing out of the front of the church. You hear the exchange of, up to the roof, around, go around to the sides and go from the inside. As you hear the knights are rushing to pursue.
Okay, let me just see something. I'm gonna, as soon as we get out there, I'm gonna try to cast message to probably ask Azzurum while he's up on the roof and say, like, have you got Lidara? Are you okay?
This is a little retroactive one. That's completely fine.
Yeah. That's what I was planning.
What you hear Vincent's voice emanate in your mind, asking if you have Lidara and are you okay?
No, she's dead. Run.
Make a deception check unintentionally.
Vincent immediately has a guilty conscience.
You can make an insight check.
I'm gonna
if
make
you'd
an
like.
insight check on that.
Deception check.
What's your deception
What did you fucking
check?
get?
I rolled a natural 1, but it's +9.
Mine was an 8 + 9, so.
Okay, so you know that
I mean,
Lidara's
for a
not
second,
dead.
I'm like, what? oh, fuck off. And then...
Do I hear that?
Fine.
Do I hear the fuck off?
No.
No, you don't.
No. Okay, they're fine. We have to... We'll meet them at the cart.
Good point. Okay, let's move then. And you hear from the beginning of the alleyway, stop right there, as you see the head knight making his appearance and pursuing you. The big one. What are you just carrying off? Are you doing something in particular? Same business. You can make a creative solution, or you could just tear off, and then we'll do a roll off.
I'm gonna try to cast Phantasmal Force.
Okay. It's an intelligence save.
Mm-hmm.
What's your save?
16.
16?
Yep.
Fails. 11.
Thank God. He sees a giant scary tiger come out of the wall and come at him and start attacking him.
You see that Sir Charles, as he's rushing down this alleyway, suddenly beast, and you see him begin to pull his longsword and start swinging at nothing, as you and Renair book it. Go ahead and give me athletic checks. No, this is a success. That's a creative solution and a use of a spell. That's your first success. As you make your way out of the alleyway, you turn towards where you can see crowds beginning to gather, as they had seen the giant albatross burst from the cathedral and flood out. There is a crowd in your way currently, and it's going to provide an obstacle or a boon if you decide to use it in a certain way, but it's completely up to you.
Is it just a crowd of random people?
Crowd of random people that are gathered to look. Some people look like they were starting their day. Some of them are workers that are like making their way to work, and they've all just kind of gathered to see what is going on. Like basically it's just making it difficult to move through.
Okay, can I, while we're behind an alley, drop the disguise that I have?
Absolutely. You drop your disguise.
And, oh man. Does Renair have anything on him that can make, or on me? I'll take my red scarf and I'll tell him to put it around his head like a bandana.
Okay. You take your red scarf and you tie it around Renair. Go ahead and make this is like a disguise kit check, impromptu. So make like a just dexterity check. See how well you do.
Not good. That's a 5.
Looking real stylish.
Yeah.
Doesn't. No, yeah. He's still. You can still tell from like the clothes and what he's wearing.
We're doing it while running, and I'm not even paying attention.
You wrap around. He's like, oh, it's
sorry. Okay, come on.
You make your way through. Okay, so now that you're making your way through the crowd, I need you to make a dexterity check for me. With Renair also. Renair will also make a dexterity check.
Dexterity check.
Yeah.
15.
You succeed. Renair doesn't. So let's roll. Roll a d20 for me. Or we could do it either that, or we could do heads or tails.
Heads or tails would be lovely.
Heads or tails would be lovely. Sure, heads or tails.
I'll do heads.
Cocked. You and Renair dart into the crowd. You can see them gathering, looking upward, not looking where they're going, and you begin to weave and dash through. Renair's a little less graceful as he is, but then you're able to sort of grab his hand and pull him through the crowd. That's a success, because I flipped a coin and it was heads. You make your way through, pushing through the crowds, making your way, going down either the main street, which would be faster, or the side alleys, which would be sneakier. It's up to you.
I'm gonna go down the side alley and cast darkness behind me.
Side alley and cast darkness behind you. Very good. You can hear now. You don't hear Sir Charles' voice, but you do hear some of the knights that were with, like, sort of followed shortly after. You do hear, like, you're still being chased, and people being like, it's like, excuse me, out of the way, like pushing through. You turn down a side alley and cast darkness, which envelops the entirety of the entrance to the alleyway. As you dart through, there's a bit of time where you're sort of sprinting through your own darkness, making your way through, and as you come out the other end, you can see that this isn't just a clear alleyway. There are obstacles, and especially you hear the whoa of a worker who is moving like a small cart through the alleyways that's coming right for you and Renair. What are you doing?
He's seen us like running into us.
Yes, so I'll either have you roll, or if you want to come up with a different solution, you can do that too. It's basically a horse drawing a cart of of schnitzel. It's Vex in the schnitzel stand being pulled by the horse. Sure.
I'll run up to him and say, "There's been an attack. We need to get out of here. Can you help us? Can you help us, please? We need to get out of here."
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage because currently, been a disadvantage because he's just trying to, he's literally like, what's happening?
Persuasion?
Yeah.
22.
You saw Azzurum talking to this. Now I have to roll for something. Oh yeah. You've seen Azzurum speaking to this schnitzel salesman before. They have kind of longer hair that's very neatly done up. You can see that they put a lot of effort into their appearance, and it works very well. They look down, their eyes are wide as they see the darkness ahead of them, and they hear the shouts, and then they look at you, and they say, "I don't know who you are. Get in the back."
Okay. Get in the back.
Vincent, Renair, you cram into the back of the schnitzel stall. You can smell, lovely smell of cooked meats. But you're able to duck underneath the counter as the horse continues to move. You see Renair kind of duck under and hold his side as he's...
I'll take out a greater potion of healing and hand it to him and I say, "Please take this."
We might need this later. I'll
It's
be fine.
fine. No, take it now.
Make a persuasion check.
21.
21.
No, 23. Wait.
20.
I'm sorry. What's 11 plus 12?
23.
23.
Renair reluctantly pops the cork off and motions to drink it. Vex backs the wagon up slowly. You can feel it rumble moving. You hear sort of shouts as the horses turn the cart to move down the other another direction. You hear shouts like, "Stop right there! Stop!"
Fuck.
As you hear, "Yes, officers, is there anything? Oh, good sirs of the church. It's very good to see you. Is there something wrong?" You hear, "Have you seen suspicious individuals running? One of them, red hair, wounded, anything of the sort. Have you seen a knight of the church? They are shrouded in dark magics." You hear that they are kind of stammering, trying to get their point out, and you look up and you can see Vex kind of just looking, not doing his best not to look back. They look and say, "No, I didn't. I saw some people run by and they kind of pushed past the cart, but I didn't think anything of them. I just thought they were a bunch of jackasses getting in the way of my stall here." Vex is gonna make a deception check. They're just a civilian. Insight check. Vex is holding this poker face as best as they can. You can't see the knights as you hear their stomping around the edge of the wagon, and you hear, "Thank you for your time. Sorry to bother you." And you hear as they rush off past the cart and down the other end of the alley. And Vex breathes a sigh of relief, and he said, and as the horses begin to make their way down the alley, you hear, "This is crazy. This is crazy.
I'll tip you for your efforts. Thank you."
Okay. And because you have chosen this route, there's no real reason why they search a schnitzel cart anymore. Vex looks, "Is there somewhere I'm dropping you off, or?"
Yeah. If you go down that way, down to the left, there's a cart we're
Just
looking
stay
for.
down, okay? I don't
Right.
think we're... Okay. The cart makes their way through the crowd. Vex's leg is kind of bouncing up and down as they're directing the cart, turning it through the crowds. Eventually, as you are saying, as the man in the front sort of says, is there anyone else we're waiting for? You hear a cart roll up, and Vex says, oh, okay, is this here?
Yes, and I come out and I flip him a gold, and I'll say, we were never here.
Works for me.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Vex takes off down thoroughfare. Vincent jumps into the back with the wounded Renair, who sits back. And as you're all sitting down there, you see them jump in. Oh, either this is someone we have to kick out, or our other passengers.
No, they're with us.
Okay, then. And, of course, as you are just moving, something pulls into the cart as Bonnie lands inside. Jeez, you're all just gonna leave?
We trusted you.
Sure. The cart moves as you hear the whistles of guards and the knights. The wagon begins to move slowly down the street as you are all crammed in the back with various sort of crates and barrels that are full of various glass bottles of wine, that sort of thing. As you begin to make your way, you can hear the whistles of the guards on the outside as the activity in Wheldon spikes. But as you look out the back, you're not being pursued. It seems that you've made a clean getaway. What are you doing?
Oh, Lidara, thank God. Azzurum said you were dead. I didn't believe him, but, you know, part of me... I'm sorry.
Azzurum.
I'm so sorry that I left you. I feel guilty.
It's all right.
I
I
could have died, and that was my fault. I'm sorry.
I can handle myself. It's okay.
Well, can you? Because I'm pretty sure we just completely fucked up a whole church system because you couldn't handle yourself. Can you please tell me how
handle myself?
fuck you managed to get locked up by them?
Oi, oi, you hear from the front. All right, if you're gonna yell at each other, at least do it a little bit quieter than that. We're still making our way.
Look, I tried my best. All right? It was just an unfortunate circumstance.
How did you even get caught by them?
Well, when I walked up, Archie was in shackles, unfortunately, and I just tried to slip the note. It didn't really work.
What for?
Vincent, you turn over, looking over towards Archie, who, until was brought up, kind of subconsciously avoiding the gaze of. As you turn over to look towards Archie, Archie's kind of just holding his head, just looking, like head up against the side of the wagon, just kind of breathing heavily, and then kind of just looks over at you, and then kind of just, I don't know. I don't know. They accuse me of doing bodic magics, and I don't know why, or who would have told them something like that, but before I knew it, I was in chains.
Is that true? The accusation? You're safe here. I mean,
You see him sort of look at you. Yeah, it's true.
It's fine. I mean, how do you think we got away? We all sort of have some of that.
Lidara has magic?
Yeah.
Just a little
known
bit.
her for how long?
Wait, what do you
When
think?
have you ever casted?
What do you think my claws are? Do I look like I have claws?
I just thought that they were like a little, like, you know, like a cat. You know, meow.
No, it's
Marmaduke has claws. Lidara has claws.
No,
it's
it's definitely magic.
it's a thing I learned a while ago, but that's not important right now. But we're all okay. Everyone's okay, right?
I'm fine.
I'm a little worse for wear, but otherwise I'm okay, I believe. And you see that Rhaenyra is still kind of holding on to his side.
I'm gonna go over to him and cast Cure Wounds. I'm gonna hold his face in my hands and cast Cure Wounds.
Sure.
At a first level. So 1d8 plus 4.
Gotcha. You 1d8 plus 4? Okay, I'll add that in a second.
Lidara, will you hold my face in your hands?
For what?
I'm hurt.
Vincent just ignores him.
Go ahead and roll your dice.
Yeah. It's 10.
As you approach, Rhaenyra is not looking at you. Rhaenyra is staring daggers towards Archie, who is kind of just solemnly looking over. And as you scoop his face up, he looks up and says, Oh,
It's fine.
oh,
You okay?
quite nice.
You good?
Fine.
Okay.
I see Rhaenyra's, like, the way that he's looking at him.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, Archie's not a threat.
You're
Just
sure?
so we're all aware. I'm positive. So ease up, please.
Rhaenyra sits up, doesn't stare, just sort of looks over, takes a deep breath as Archie sits up and lays his head against the side of the wagon.
Are you doing okay,
Rhaenyra, Archie, who are you talking to?
Archie?
I'm fine.
You look hurt.
I'm fine. I didn't expect to be caught up in all this.
Will you accept healing?
Still remember how to do all that?
I guess so. Yeah. Did I do it before?
The first time he just turns and looks towards you. Looks in your eyes, just... Paul always said that you get the hang of it someday. He extends his hand out. And you can see where it's kind of bruised and banged up.
I'll just grab him, not by the hand, but by the forearm. And cast Cure Wounds at a first level again.
Even with like the base, it'll pretty much get him up to full health. That damage he took was real close to something real bad.
Break out those diamonds.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for how I acted towards you in the tavern.
I'm sorry too.
You don't have to be. I was being a dick.
I mean, I think we got off on the wrong foot there.
Yeah. I think we did. But if being honest, I don't really know how to... or which foot is the right foot to get off on.
Maybe we should save it for later.
Yeah. No, it's killing me.
Alright.
Turns and he places his head in his hands. You all make your way, saying anything else?
I'm just gonna get next to Rhaenyra and, lean up against him.
Rhaenyra, standing tall, not keeping a hawk's eye on Archie anymore, but just sort of sitting back. And as you make your way through this tense journey, the streets of Wheldon, things seem to quiet down over time. Eventually, the wagon itself comes to a halt, and you hear the as the gates open from outside the wagon. You're not sure exactly what to see. There's not a lot of space or to look towards the front. You hear some footsteps from the outside, and you hear an older voice saying, "Hey, just hiring. Let him in." Tyron, your driver, looks down and says, "Oh, appreciate that." The wagon begins to make its way down a path. Hi, this is Christian, the Dungeon Master for the Strings of Fate. Thank you for tuning into episode 11, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. We actually have a lot of big announcements right now, and one of them is a teaser for an announcement that's going to happen on Friday, so stick around. Firstly, as you've noticed, we've moved our posting time to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still Wednesdays and Fridays, just an hour later. If you're already here, then you've made it. This is going to be the posting time for the foreseeable future. Moving on from that, a big one is that we have finally released our podcast on actual podcast streaming platforms. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. If you haven't already, go check them out. And if you feel so inclined, please leave a review and a rating for us. It really helps us get seen and it helps our podcast get more out there. So check it out. Finally, we have an announcement on Friday that is super cool and very, very exciting. I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about it, but I can't say anything about it just yet because it's a surprise for Friday. So you'll have to tune in to Friday's episode and keep an eye on our social media on that day, because that's where it's all going down. Other than that, this is just a quick reminder to share the show as much as you can, as well as tweet about the show using the hashtag SoftPod. I go through that hashtag pretty much every day, and I pick NPC names out from there, so it's really cool. And now with the new streaming platforms, please share those even more. I know there's a lot of people who are waiting for Spotify and for Apple Podcasts and for Google Podcasts to listen to the show and didn't want to keep the YouTube app open. So this is a chance to get more people into the podcast and show them our story. Other than that, thank you to dnddisability.com for the ADHD supplement, which we use for our bard Vincent. And thanks to the Soft Chord for all the support that you give us. It really means a lot. It really helps us push on through this entire process, through all the difficulty and all the equipment and all the recording schedules. It is all worth it because of you all. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as leave a comment down below. In fact, I'll give you a prompt. This one will be more D&D related. What's your character's name? Just leave a comment down below and tell us. We always love to hear about that. Anyways, that's all from me. Bye. As the wagon comes to a halt, you hear from the front, "All right then, you can go ahead and head out the back now. I think we're in a place where it's fairly inconspicuous. I'm gonna go ahead and get Valentina." The driver gets out the side, and as Bonnie opens the back of the wagon, you can see that you're in a bit of a shaded area. But ahead of you, you can see a beautiful estate that is just kind of fenced in from the rest of the city. It's the closest thing to like a park that you've seen in this entire area, basically. There's beautiful green lawns that stretch. There's like a small pond over further down. You can see like rose hedges that are very well decorated that adorn a lot of space around the lawn itself. And next to you, you are in the shade of what looks to be like a 4-story manor, basically like a massive mansion. You make your way out. It's a gorgeous building of brick and stone, adorned in like rose trellises, like vines that seem to wrap around the building itself. A cascading effect of beautiful flowers. As you are making your way out of the wagon, everyone's sort of standing there. You see now Valentina walks up and says, "Thank goodness. Okay, quickly, let's move through." She looks and sees that Azzurum and Renair are covered in wounds and says, "Okay, let's move quick. Try not to track any blood into the manor itself. As long as we move through relatively unseen, we should be all right. But here's the story. You are my guests, and I wanted to treat you Where are you from? Are you from the sovereignty? Are you from the nations?
Oh,
Ancien?
Siniath. Just say Siniath.
Siniath. Okay, travelers from Siniath. That's perfect. Oh, anybody here? Nobility? Anything?
We all look at Renair.
Renair, who is the most beat up, he says,
Him.
"Hello." Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, fair. Nobility in from Siniath. I wanted to give you a personal invitation to the ball. You're my plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks at Archie and 4, 5. Then points at Bonnie. 6. And Bonnie said, "No, I don't think. At this point, you're. Listen." And okay, all right then. Plus 6 or so that are coming to the ball, and your accommodations are being covered, and you're all staying with me, and I will be moving my work to another room. You're going to have my room. That's how it's going to go. So, if anyone stops you, that's what you're doing. If you're going around the manor, feel free to go around the manor. Just have that story in mind. Let's go.
Are we? Can we go out on the town at all? Is that a bad
Depends.
idea?
How many of your faces have been known by the church?
Definitely me.
You, and I point at Archie and I say him.
Me?
Renair.
Not me.
Not you. Nobody's seen you.
Nobody's seen me.
And I haven't dropped my disguise.
Okay.
Well, I have now, but
Okay.
before.
Well, Bonnie sort of says, "I did my best to hide my face, but, well, there are some things that are just difficult to hide, and also I do not wish to hide."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
And Valentina says, "Fair, difficult, but fair. Make your way around at night. You can make your way out at night. It's a lot easier to avoid members of the church then.
Do they go to bed early?
Let's go." And just kind of nervously begins to lead you all towards the front of the mansion. As you make your way towards the front, you can see the beautiful rose bushes being like curated by gardeners as you like are speaking with hedge clippers, sort of tip their hats towards Valentina. They're wearing that same generic uniform. Valentina leads you all into a beautiful, spacious, grand foyer with beautiful art that's hung along the walls and a large sort of gold chandelier hanging from the top. You can see that this foyer, you can see like balconies basically, where it's like first floor, second floor, third floor balconies that all kind of look down from there. It's very spacious, but extremely quiet inside as your footsteps echo, and you can only hear the very light footsteps that are like just from people that are moving around the house, probably workers or maids or something along the sort. Valentina leads you up the first set of stairs, this grand like staircase that leads up and then turns into that sort of surrounded balcony area. Makes your way across numerous doors and rooms and numerous portraits and marble statues of people with long names that are somewhat difficult to pronounce. Eventually pushing into a room and says, "This is where you'll be staying. I hope that it's all right. It might be a bit small if you're used to staying over at the Emerald Rest."
Anything's fine.
This is
This is fine. Thank you so much.
very big.
Do
you
you
get used to, I'd say you get used to it, but in reality, well, it's hard to.
Do you live here alone? Do you have anybody else?
Oh, no. My extended family lives here. It's just that they don't really... They're either out on the town right now, or they're up in their offices doing work, that sort of thing.
Seems quiet, a little lonely.
Yes, a lot of the younger Thorns like to avoid just being in the home alone like this, so, it is quite quiet, but... For someone like me, whose interests are a little more solitary, it's nice. You are sort of making your way through, sort of talking. You see, sort of from around a corner, a figure sort of move, and then sort of see you all, and then begin to sort of like back up. And Valentina stops and says, "No, oh, sorry. Adelaide, please come here." you can see what looks to be an Air Genasi maid, basically. She has short bobbed dark blue hair that is laid down sort of by like a hairband, and like that sort of, instead of like a generic uniform, she has like that emerald green and gold that kind of clashes with certain aspects of her. And the tips of her hair ever so slightly trying to like escape upward into the air, but are held down by the hairband. And her skin is that same like light blue, delicate complexion. She comes up and says, yes, ma'am. Valentina says, Adelaide, these are my guests for the next week leading up to the ball. So, treat them as you would treat me. This is Adelaide, my personal maid, assistant. You can ask anything of her, and she will acquiesce.
All right.
Adelaide bows.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
We won't be too much trouble. Don't worry about it.
Yes. She bows her head slightly, smiles.
Insight.
I know. I'm gonna say on her.
I would like to do that.
15.
15?
Natural 20 plus 10. Ooh! I've rolled so many.
God. Okay.
Long whisper.
Long whisper.
Spicy.
Spicy. Valentina pushes the door open. Adelaide stands by, hands folded over each other in the front, staying out of the way as best as she can. And you push into the room. And Valentina has sort of made a very humble approximation of, I don't know if you'll like the space, that sort of thing. This is one of the biggest bedrooms you've ever seen. Just in terms of like, one person lives here. Like, wow, this was the size of the entire den in Troll Skull, plus maybe 2 of our bedrooms.
Of course.
It's an extremely spacious place with curtains of green silk that hang from the ceiling. A same sort of canopied bed, but even more like customized. Like, if there's something past king's size, like
There is, I think.
California King.
California
Yeah.
King, like
And
this is the California King in our world.
This is the Signath King or something.
What is California in?
What is California in this?
I think it's actually like Cinia. I think actually the sovereignty is pretty much California.
That's so
Wow.
funny.
A nice desk against one of the walls is well stocked with writing implements, along with art supplies arranged in jars. There's a few what's the word I'm looking for? Canvases that are on like an easel that are just like laid out. You can see there's a painting that's incomplete there.
Is it good?
There's a couple of like blank canvases. It's fairly good. Like it's actually fairly good of the view of the outside of the room. There's a couple of empty canvases as well. And then one entire wall is literally just a bookshelf. Like one large bookshelf nearly like all the way to the ceiling, packed to the point that there are some tomes that are like stacked vertically in front of it. And warm sunlight makes this room very comforting, along with the strong smell of cinnamon. Valentina says, sorry, so there's only one bed, and
There was one bed.
And
but
six
do
of us.
there's like a seating area here. There's like some sofas.
Oh
here,
no,
and a
I don't
tea
think
table.
I don't think so. This will do. You got anything bigger? Anything else better? Maybe.
I'm sorry. I mean, I could get you like a guest room if you'd prefer. I could try and find some guest rooms.
That'd be
I
so
can
nice.
also
Vincent,
just
you
sleep.
are so.
I motion to like cut it out. Nope.
Oh,
I also I could just sleep on the floor. It doesn't really matter to me.
I don't have to sleep.
Okay, so that leaves 2 out.
if you'd like to wash, this is. Are these japes? Are these?
Japes?
What is a jape?
Define
A
jape.
jest?
Well, they're
A jest?
like
A jab,
a
perhaps.
jokes, that sort of
Okay.
thing.
Not on my end. Vincent.
I'm kidding. It's fine. I'll sleep
thank
wherever.
goodness. Okay, fantastic. Then there's a bathroom over there which you can wash up. There's a large bathtub there that you can clean yourselves up if you'd like. If you'd like to borrow any of the clothes that I have, my closet is here. She walks over to a door on the side and pushes open to like a huge walk-in closet. And says, my closet is here. You can pick out anything you'd like to wear if it's something that suits your style. Otherwise, I will not be staying here. I might come in here to grab things every now and then, but I will be up in a guest room over on the second floor.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. You didn't
Yeah.
have to give us like your whole room.
Oh no, you're doing a huge service for me by attending the ball with me. So I may as well. Honestly, I'm a bit upset that I didn't offer this before. But
Oh, don't. No, it's completely
But,
all right.
Are we gonna have a briefing before the ball?
absolutely, yes.
Because I just want to know what we're protecting you from.
Yes, it's less. I'll give you a more detailed briefing, but it's less. Tensions have been going up, basically, between the two families as much as people would not like to say, especially with recent news that we've heard,
Which
Oh.
is
which is that there was one of you met this member of the family just the other day. They were fairly new, and they were found murdered in the Walsh district.
Yes.
Make a deception check.
Gasp.
Fucking gasp.
fuck you. No, it's 18.
Valentina sort of gives a quick look over, and then shifts back over. Anyways, yes, it's very shocking, but because tensions have been rising, I tend to be a bit over preparing in terms of I tend to over prepare basically. And at this particular function, I would just like to know that all my bases are covered, if that makes sense.
All right.
And though things have changed and the specific purpose of this has been changed from a investors ball to a unity ball, meaning that both families will be in attendance, that is all the more reason to have as many of you as possible there watching and making sure that everything is good.
Both families?
Both families, Thorns and Walshes.
Oh,
Even Finnegan Walsh?
You know Finnegan.
we ran into them at a bar the other day.
They are... Yes, they will be in attendance. But you don't have to worry about them. Finnegan and I are rather close, surprisingly.
Really?
Well, yes. I mean, though there is the tension between families, you do need someone to laugh at it every now and then to understand the absurdity of it all. And Finnegan does.
And you trust them?
I do. I very much do.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Cool. Fuck me, I guess. That's a natural 1 plus 10, so.
Yeah. No, you not only do you trust that that's the truth, but Valentina's sort of description is a lot different than a vibe than you read, which is basically, the vibe that you get from Valentina is that, like, not only is Finnegan somebody that they confide in, it's someone they wholeheartedly trust.
Okay, cool.
Valentina continues and says, so yes, Finnegan will be in attendance. If you've already gotten on their bad side, then I'm sorry to say. But at the same time, I do think that they are able to be polite in most situations.
I don't think we've gotten on their bad side. I think that they liked us.
Yeah,
I didn't meet them.
they liked
So.
us a lot, which is a little weird, but
Maybe
I
we're
guess
just
it was-
charming.
nothing. Yeah.
Well, Finnegan's very personable, so hopefully when you see them again, you will keep that same charming rapport. Valentina looks and says, like I said, over the next few days, things are going to get quite intense, especially as there's a few of you whose faces have been recognized. But that's all right. Stay in the manor during the day. If you need to go out, do it at night. I will have meals brought here in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. You are free to make specifications if you'd like. Just ask Adelaide here, and Adelaide sort of gives like a slight nod, looking down at the ground. And your meals will be brought to you. Other than that, if you need to find me, I'm afraid I'll be very busy leading up to the ball. I have my own work to take care of, but I will give you a briefing of the ball as soon as I have all the details ready.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Fantastic. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be off.
All right.
Okay.
As soon as she goes, I'm like, she lives like this
This
all
is
the time.
a lot.
This is so nice.
Like every day, this is like what she comes home to.
We should move here.
We should steal something.
I've never been in a
Why are you
house
wanna
this big.
She's giving us so much.
She has so much to give. That's the point.
Okay, well, I bet if you ask nicely, she's already given us a place to stay, even though knowing that we're casters
That's true. We
has
shouldn't
given
go.
us completely wiped our debt at the place we were staying, moved all of our things without asking us, got us a getaway car, and paid for our expensive ass outfits.
We'll
That's
call
true.
it reparations.
But we don't want to have bad relationships with them. I'm really, honestly, tired of having bad relationships with everyone we talk to.
I'm not trying to fight her. I'm not trying to get a
I
bad
get it.
reputation.
I get it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff here.
There's a lot of stuff
I
here.
have pickpocketed my entire life. I understand. But,
No, me too.
you know,
We're the same.
maybe save that for later.
You're all little grimy thieves.
It's fine.
Little grimy little hands.
Bonnie quite literally just like slides down, like slings herself over the couch, just like, ugh, like lying down on the back foot. Archie sits down and just lies his head there and just kind of is like,
To Bonnie, I'm like, do you claim that spot then?
yep. And I'd be willing to share, but at the same time, I do take up a lot of space, she says, as she gets one of her boots up there with a kind of cocky smile. Renair looks over and says, I'm going to clean myself.
Okay.
Then starts like sort of making his way slowly over to the bathroom. And
Poor
through
guy.
all of this, Adelaide is still there. Adelaide is just sort of standing there at attention, just kind of silent, eyes darting from each of you.
Adelaide, hi.
Yes.
How did you get here? How did you start doing this? You know, working as a maid here.
She's kind of taken aback by this. Very much like
Just making conversation.
unexpected question. Oh, no one really asks me things like that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
Pry.
it's fine. Well, originally my mother was maid for the estate, and thus I got the job through that connection. And I was assigned to Miss Valentina when I was a few years younger, and I've been working ever since. And I've just moved my way into being a fairly consistent helper to the house.
That's lovely.
She has a very cheery smile, though she has a bit of a nervousness to her that makes the atmosphere a little tense. Like sort of like it's okay, it's all right, that sort of thing.
I promise we're not going to actually steal. I was joking.
Oh, that's good. I knew that.
Right, yeah.
Is there another bathroom I can use? I want to go take a shower. Unless Renair wants to
Sure.
share with me. I think that it's best I do it somewhere
Probably
else.
not.
There's one down the hall.
Oh,
I'll walk with you. I'm gonna go take a walk around.
Sure,
If that's
absolutely.
all right.
If you need me, call on me for anything. I will be around the estate. Miss Valentina doesn't use it, but she motions over to the nightstand next to the bed. And there's a small sort of green bell there. It's like a old brass bell. It says, "You can ring that, and I will be here as soon as I hear it."
They're that kind of rich that they have call bells. Damn.
All right. Well, thank you. Azzurum, let's go find that bathroom, and I'll.
I can
See
lead
you
you there
later.
if you'd like.
Sure.
Adelaide smiles, bows the head, leads you out the door, down the vast hallways of this place, twisting and winding. moving. She keeps her head down a lot of the time. She moves very softly, like you can barely hear her footsteps. But she eventually just leads you down the hallway, points you towards a set of doors, and says, right here.
Thank you very much, Adelaide.
Absolutely. Let me know how I can be of service. Smiles.
I'm going to wait here until she walks away.
There's a moment where she's waiting, says, oh, of course. And then turns, makes her way back.
Azzurum,
Yes.
do you know her?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. I've never met another air genasi.
Well, I have a feeling that she knows you. She's been watching you.
Well, I am devastatingly good looking.
Okay, besides that,
Okay.
it's weird.
So should I talk to her? Should I?
I mean, if that's up to you, but I'm just letting you know that weird vibes.
Okay. Cool.
So, you have a nice shower. I guess I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, you want to join?
No,
Okay.
and I start walking away.
You make your way back. Lidara, make a perception check.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of take a stroll, reflect. You said a perception?
Yes.
Have an 80s style montage by yourself.
25.
25.
Holy shit.
Okay. You make your way back towards that balcony area where your that room overlooks from the second floor over the first floor of the foyer. As you make your way over, you can hear that there is noise coming from the foyer. And you discover that source fairly easily. You can see that there are a couple of workers that are currently rolling in barrels of a finely decorated green wood and gold hoops around them with little engravings on them. And overseeing this shipment, you can see that there is a younger figure, younger than Valentina, same copper toned skin, hair braided into a crown, you know what I'm talking about, right? And a cheery complexion, just looking down. And next to her is a much older woman, of a more sallow complexion. Her face is aged, but carrying an elegance. They both wear very similar emerald garb with a very slight brooch that you can see that is pinned over towards the neckline area. And with the 25, you can see that from the floor above you on the opposite side, you can see Valentina just watching the shipment from up there, and then turn and then walk into a room.
Crazy. Does it look like they're getting ready for the ball or something?
It looks like you can't fully with your passive insight, I'll say you can make the connection that these look like very special barrels of wine that they're preparing for the ball, basically. And you can see them offloading them into the cellar, making their way down and then having people heave them off of the carts and then carry them down with care into a cellar door that's on the first floor, or past on the first floor. Anything you're doing?
I'll probably just see that and then probably just keep walking.
Okay. You making your way back to the room, or are you just looking around?
Just looking around, probably just kind of getting the vibe of the setup, what kind of the structure is a little bit inside. See if there's any artwork. I don't know.
Lidara, you wander the mansion. Anything you're doing, Vincent? You're the only one who's... You're there with Archie and Bonnie.
Yeah.
And it's a very tense silence, though. Even though you've resolved some of it, there's still a lingering bit of tension.
I'll just get on the side of the bed and take off my coat very like awkwardly pull out my violin and rosin the bow and just take care of it before I'm like, you two should get some rest.
As you raise it and take a look over it, doing your extensive care for this violin, and you never fully knew. At first it seems like oh, well, this is a nice item, of course I want to take care of it, or it's been with me since as long as I can remember, so of course I'll take care of it. But there's always been something special in taking care of the violin itself. There's always been a unconscious amount of effort that's put in. And as you sort of are taking care of it, you hear footsteps as Archie kind of just walks up and sits. Where are you sitting? Like on the bed?
On the bed, yeah.
Sits down next to you. And his eyes are just locked on it. On the violin. As he says,
can I help you? Is there something wrong?
you still have it.
I look down. This?
Yes, this. I recognize the little place where I dinged it and you went off on me for a fucking month about it.
Really?
You look over and there's like one small scratch that you've never known exactly where it's come from. He looks and says,
I mean, it's just been with me for a long time. I just figured it was important somehow.
listen, your friend, she told me about your situation that you really don't remember and that it's out of your control.
I don't, and it is.
You see Bonnie just kind of stretch her arms and say, going for a walk, and then just kind of make her way out of the room, kind of sensing the atmosphere. Archie sort of looks. He's not like really close to you or anything. He's just kind of sitting like further towards the edge of the bed, just looking on at the violin and looking at you and just saying, listen, I'm sorry. I know this is... I don't know how to feel because I know rationally that you don't know who I am. You don't remember anything and you can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first heard that, I was angry. I was very angry.
Understandable.
But that's not your fault. And
I don't know. Might be. Might have done this to myself. I don't know. Regardless, I take the blame for it anyway. Sorry.
Well, you still didn't deserve me attacking you out of nowhere like that. But if you'd like to know a little bit more, you can ask me, and I can tell you what I know.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit afraid to ask. But how do you know me?
Make an insight check.
22.
You can see those same complex emotions swelling up. 100 words go through his mind in an instant. You can see him trying to pick the best ones and the ones that, separating the ones that he wants to say to the ones that he thinks he has to, before he finally lands on, we were good friends once upon a time. Very good friends. And we traveled together for a long time.
How long?
For me, it felt like honestly. It's hard to really think. It feels so disconnected from it all. I still remember it, but part of me hasn't had to for such a long time.
Huh. Was it just you and me?
No. There were others. There was another human like me. Lottie, we called her. And her real name was Charlotte. There was a younger tiefling who joined us. Like you. They were very precocious, pink little horns that are just starting to grow in. There was you and me, of course. I got us into a lot more trouble, but, well, I guess nothing's changed.
I don't know, I feel like I've gotten into a fair bit of trouble myself, so...
Yeah, well, bad habits, maybe.
Those two, where are they?
Don't know.
They dead?
I don't... God, I hope not. But it wasn't just those two and us. There's also the person who gave you that. And he points towards the violin. And if you don't remember who that is, then I suppose I'll fully accept that you don't know anything about the situation.
I mean, I only have one memory and I don't know if it's connected, but I remember someone teaching me. I've only recovered that memory recently.
But you have recovered it?
Yeah.
There's a slight smile that crosses his face as he looks and looks towards you in the violin.
Is that him?
Yeah. His name was Bo. But we called him Paw. A fun colloquialism, a little...
Yeah, yeah, that was in my memory. Pa. Where's he?
I don't know. Hopefully with the others. I left not too long after you left. Maybe a year or so after.
Why'd you do that?
To find you.
Huh.
He kind of chokes on the words. It's been such a long time, I can't say that I've been looking for you for 8 years. At some point I just moved on.
It's understandable. I would have done the same thing, I think. You know, I've been traveling around for 8 years, just kind of lost. Sort of not attached to anything. I feel like, of all the things to forget, why were you one of them? You know? Why block out you and the others? Whatever is causing it, I don't think wants me near you. I don't know why. And Archie, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of things about me that potentially dangerous to you, and I don't want you to get caught up in the crossfire, you know? And as glad as I am to have a huge piece of my memory just right in front of me, living and breathing, part of me is nervous that you're here. But, I mean, you say that you got yourself into trouble, but really it wasn't just you. It was us. On accident. not on purpose. Those guards were... Well, they were sent over there looking for casters, and I didn't know. It wasn't my call, but still, it was us. It was all of us. Sorry. Getting you involved.
Takes a deep breath and just looks on and says, "It's funny, because, like I said, it's a weird part that feels like nothing's changed. That this is just a laugh that we're gonna have, and then they're all gonna walk in the other room, and we're going to have dinner and cheer and do all the fun stuff that we all used to do. But I understand. And I don't know what you're talking about or what's caused all of it or why. I can't remember any of it.
Long story.
I'm sure it is.
Full of holes. You know. Kind of like Swiss cheese up in there.
Archie sort of first starts to laugh, just like this like Swiss cheese.
I don't know. I take it back. I'm sorry.
You always you have the right words at the wrong time, and sometimes, and most of the time, the stuff that you say is just complete. I like that still hasn't changed.
Well,
I'll let you rest, but I'll say one thing.
yeah.
I wasn't the only one looking, and that's not so scary, but we always, Lottie and I, we assume the worst after a year, but Paul never gave up, and when I left, he still hadn't given up.
Well, maybe we could try to find him?
It's that easy and short, but
I don't know.
last time I saw them, Will was off, far east from here. That
East?
was, 7 years ago. I don't know where they are now, but they were searching up and down the principalities trying to find you. We weren't a traveling group anymore, we were a search party, I suppose. He stands up and says, "I want to rest my hip."
Yeah, you should. If you need any, I am a decent healer now, so if you need anything, just let me know.
I never thought you would figure all that stuff out, the bardic stuff, but I suppose I've been proven wrong before. He stands up, makes his way to the couch, and lies down.
I'll put away my instrument after taking care of it.
You put away your violin, a renewed piece of the puzzle, like a sense of slight familiarity now, all ingrained in one little scratch that you were never able to identify on the side. And a little part of you is a little bit pissed off about it now that you know that it was Archie. Just like an unearthed amount of annoyance that is fun for once. And you lock it. We cut back over to the darkened halls of the Church of the Morninglord. And there, as all the knights fan out across the town, searching frantically for those escapees, those usurpers, those heretics, we see High Priest Morin kneeled over the corpse of one of the paladins that fell in the fight. We see that he holds in his hand a diamond necklace. And he stares at it and he thinks, as his hands run over it, we see the light start to illuminate as he looks at the paladin, and then dim as he rolls the necklace and then places it in his pouch. And he looks and he says, "A suitable martyr for the cause. A spark to a flame." He takes his hand and runs it across the pale, dead flesh. "Be with the Lord, my child." And that's where we'll end.
Christian.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you all enjoyed once again.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't that hard, right?
A little hard. I'm not very good at these things. Azzurum is a lot better at it. So are you, honestly.
Oh, don't say that about Azzurum, honestly. It'll give him a big head.
Did I hear my name?
No. God.
We should end this.
Yeah, before he comes over.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening and joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.